was apprenticed to the most powerful being in the galaxy once. I was destined to become so much more.
He began as a mysterious shadow, lurking in the background, operating Palpatine's grandiose plan about ending the Jedi gradually. He barely spoke, but his actions and appearance meant more than 1,000 words. He was a skilled duelist, and demonstrated that by beating the almighty Qui-Gon Jinn in front of a young Obi-Wan Kenobi. This unknown evil being was about to send shockwaves back to the Jedi Order with one clear message. The Sith were back, and they were not messing around. But then, it all just stopped. For a long time, Star Wars fans assumed that Darth Maul was gone. It was sad really, because Maul had the potential to be something special. His character was intriguing. You wanted to know more about him, who he was, why Palpatine had chosen him, his backstory, and more of his amazing lightsaber skills. George Lucas himself understandably felt the same way, and decided to do the impossible, bringing back a character that got chopped in half and making it convincing and interesting at the same time.
Revenge. I must have revenge.
His comeback was fueled by his vengeance towards the old nemesis, Obi-Wan. Maul had gotten crazy, but somehow most of the Star Wars fans actually got along with the spider legs and his weird speech about revenge. He was one of the main villains in the Clone Wars, and his first agenda was to make Obi-Wan suffer. In the end, those thoughts are what kept him alive all those years in the cave.
Come alone, and if you do not, this world will burn.
Maul truly stands out in the Clone Wars. He is such a badass, taking whatever he wants and doing what he feels like. Nothing would stand in his way. He becomes such a problem for the Jedi Order that they eventually have to track him down. Pure chaos erupts, and when Maul discovers the criminal underworld and its potential for power, he uses it to gain an even bigger advantage. We learn that he didn't choose to become a Sith, and that Palpatine controlled him like a puppet. It's obvious that Maul doesn't want anything to do with Sidious. He's frightened of him, but also hates his former master for just abandoning him on Naboo. You understand that Palpatine and Maul pretty much wants the same outcome, control and power, but they choose to go at it from different directions. Clone Wars was absolutely Maul's high point. Siege of Mandalore could be some of the best Star Wars content ever made, and he plays a massive part in that arc. Every episode Maul appeared in was spectacular, and the fans just wanted more and more of him. Sam Witwer, that voiced him, did a phenomenal job, and very much took the performance of the character to the next level.
The Sith. The Sith took everything from me, murdered my brother, used me as a weapon, and then cast me aside.
What happens after Clone Wars is an immense illustration about that Maul never had a chance to succeed. The more his life goes on, the more, in my opinion, he turns into an object for the audience to display other characters' growth, like Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. Maul never learns from his mistakes, because he had only known one path in life. It doesn't matter how much he tries to run from it. Maul was always destined to fail, because he was driven by hate and fear. He's very much the anti-Ahsoka. Both are Force users that have left their ideology behind, but somehow always ends up back where they started. The difference is that Ahsoka rather matured, but that Maul instead just kept being staggered, desperately trying to move forward, but sadly couldn't. It's a tragic character arc. Maul was a flawed man from the beginning, and I feel like he almost acts as a lost child that never really learned how to grow up and find a purpose. You feel sorry for him, because he didn't choose this life himself, and therefore he hasn't known any other way. And by the time we get to Rebels, it's clear that he's running out of steam, and that he himself is starting to feel empty. He has no plan, no clear goal anymore, only hate, and I don't blame him. Maul had lost everything multiple times, and sooner or later it would become enough for him.
Kenobi. Kenobi!
It was almost inevitable that the age-long vendetta between these two powerful Force users would end with one last confrontation. What this showdown displayed was a tremendous difference in their mindset, appearance, and progress over the years. Obi-Wan had evolved into a calm and collected Jedi Knight. He had put his past behind him and learned from it. But Maul, on the other hand, was still living in his. He is so far behind his fellow nemesis that he can't even grasp that Maul himself clearly is going to fall. It's the classic Sith mistake of being naive and way too confident. It's what got him chopped in half those many years ago, and it's also what's going to get him killed here on Tatooine. The visual storytelling in this scene is amazing. Small details like how Obi-Wan stands makes Maul try the same lightsaber move that got Qui-Gon killed on Naboo. Maul is stuck in the past, and his final moment hammers that home to perfection. Obi-Wan of course understands how to counter Maul's maneuver and makes the duel look very easy. Maul's journey had come full circle, even if it never really got anywhere. It's a heartbreaking story. Yeah, Maul was a badass, leader of the criminal underworld and a Sith, but if you look within him, he has pretty much always been broken and lost. Star Wars villains never really have a true purpose. Just looking for power like Palpatine and Maul doesn't make any sense in my opinion. It's not a clear motive for killing people, but I think that is the whole point. The Sith are ultimately lost beings that never understands it themselves. It's a portrayal of how evil people here on Earth operate, and that they are consumed by negative thoughts. Power and control will never make you happy. And that's exactly what George Lucas was trying to convey with these stories. The tragic part is that Maul was incapable of realizing the truth, and that's why he conclusively was destined to fall.
Once I had power. Now I have nothing. Nothing.
Thank you for watching. Press the like button and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And may the Force be with you.